Members, good afternoon. Welcome to the Special Executive, 27th of November 2025. Item 1, urgent business. Well, there's no apologies on here actually, but should we just take apologies first, Mr. White, please?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. We've got an apology from Councillor Brazil for this special exec meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 1, urgent business. I have none. Item 2, division of the agenda. I'm not aware that any item of business is going to lead to the disclosure of accepted information. Item 3, declarations of interests. In accordance with the Code of Conduct, members are invited to declare any disclosable pecuniary interests, other registered interests and non-registered interests, including the nature and extent of such interest they may have in any items to be considered at this meeting. I will start, please. As I said in the previous meeting, I am a county councillor. I'm a cabinet member on the county as well. I have already spoken and voted on the county's plan, but I plan to speak and vote today because, notwithstanding the discussion we just had in full council, I am of an open mind. Councillor Rake.
Thank you, Chair. As you're aware, like yourself, I'm a county councillor and have already spoken and voted on in council in an advisory capacity on the county council's proposal. However, I remain of an open mind.
Councillor Hodgson.
Likewise, I'm also a county councillor and also a cabinet member at county. I have voted at county and I have voted here this afternoon on South Hams District Council's application as well. But nevertheless, I retain an open mind for this evening's executive meeting.
Thank you very much. Any other declarations from members? No? Okay, thank you very much. In which case, we'll move on to the substantive agenda item, item 4. You will note, members, the recommendation on screen is different from the recommendation on the published papers. It reflects the change to the recommendation we had at full council. I'd like to move it as an amendment, please. Do I have a seconder? Second. Yeah, thank you very much. Either Councillor Hotwood or Councillor Rake, your choice. And as such, then that becomes a substantive recommendation. I don't propose to say an awful lot more than I said at the full council members of the exec, because I think I had 2 bites of the cherry. I will reiterate my thanks to the officer team, the teams across the district, but particularly to the officer team here who have done at the very least their fair share and arguably far more than their fair share of the work when it comes to the final submission of this document. I think that reflects the excellence of the team we have at the South Hams rather than any unfair distribution of labour. So on that basis, you should all be thoroughly credited. I don't think I need to add anything else at this stage. You heard very loud, very clear message from the full council as to their recommendation to this executive. I'm happy to take questions to me or to officers if there are any, and if not, we can move to debate. Are there any questions, members? I see none. In which case, I will move the substantive recommendation.
Second.
And members are open to debate. Does anyone like to say anything? Particularly members who didn't speak in exec, but anybody, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to go to Councillor Rake first as Deputy Leader, and then yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Chair. I just think that, today's quite a momentous day because this process has hung over us and been a heavy weight for the past year. It's sucked all the oxygen out of the room, not only in and of itself, but also has had a significant effect on other discussions on the day job, if you like. And I think it's a relief that we're now here and can at least temporarily mark a pause. And I think with this proposal going forward, I think we can also look to the future with a degree of enthusiasm and optimism. I think there are elements in this proposal that will really allow us to unleash a new energy in the local government we provide to our residents here in the South Hams, more broadly across the 4, across the 5, and hopefully Plymouth will be able to follow suit. And so I think I see real opportunities in not only the providing of a single front door for local government services, which I think will be a big benefit, because I'm sure our switchboard and county switchboard spend a lot of their time saying, no, you need to ring the other guys. But in cross-fertilisation between a number of different authorities who've been working on similar things, but probably in different ways, in the giving our excellent officers the challenge of forming new teams with ambition and drive to achieve better outcomes for our residents. So I think hopefully this momentous decision comes with drawing a line under the heavy cloud of and weight of preparing our proposal, and allows us to look to the future with a degree of energy and optimism. And so on that basis, I think that we should wholeheartedly adopt the view expressed earlier at full council and submit this to the Secretary of State.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. Councillor Hodgson.
Thank you. While I abstained on the actual vote in favour of this submission itself, I will be voting in favour of sending this in, because obviously that's the duty we have now as the executive, just to send it in. I think it was fantastic, actually, that everybody except me voted for it. But I felt it was difficult because of the vote I'd taken at county, and I'm not a fence sitter. I can't vote for two things that perhaps conflict. So I just thought that's where I put my vote. I think it is really challenging for all of us being in this, and I think it's actually going to be quite good now that we've got a few months perhaps of feeling a little bit easier, just, getting on with the regular job of what we do at District Council without this hanging over us. We've done that bit, and we will find out in due course which way it's going to go. But either way, whichever way it goes, I think, as has been sort of expressed in various corners today, this council's got an awful lot to be proud of. I've been coming here since 2011 when I first got elected to District Council, and I think it's we've met the challenges along the way, and at this stage there's such uncertainty in so many things, and not least of which is the council, the funding that we get as a local authority. And I think if it hadn't been for local authorities with dedicated officers and dedicated councillors and a real interest in serving their residents, I think a lot of residents would be really suffering a lot more than they actually do. And I think so we've got a lot to be proud of as a council, and I hope now that we can have a few months of maybe sort of like turning our attention more to that than look into what the government may or may not do to us. But I think I hope that the government will recognise what's going on for us as local authorities, because I do wonder how much they really understand how local authorities work in terms of their residents and the needs, because we've been so scraped back to the bone financially, and that's made things so difficult, not just for us, but also for the people on the receiving end or not of what they need in services. So I'm hoping that one thing that will come out of this unitary move will be a bit more simplicity, as has already been said, and actually just makes it easier to deliver those services more directly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other councillor wish to speak to this item? No? Okay. We've got a recommendation. It's been proposed and seconded. Can I see a show of support, please, members?
That's 9 and unanimous. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much. Unless anyone would like to tell me otherwise, that ends the meeting. Thank you very much.